On this month's edition of the FIFA World Cup magazine, FC Kairat's Andrey Arshavin. We remember Dynamo Moscow's historic 1945 tour of the United Kingdom. And Oleg Salenko tells us about his unique World Cup record. But we begin with the latest milestone on the road to Russia, as the host cities each held events on the 6th of March to mark 100 days until the start of the 2018 FIFA World Cup. In Ekaterinburg, the furthest east of all the host cities, superfan Maria Panina led a group workout on the city's historic square. One of the most exciting events took place in Sochi. At the Riviera Park Dolphinarium, fans were treated to a spectacular football-themed display from the park's star attractions. In Samara, Olympic judo champion and 2018 host city ambassador Tagir Kabulev helped host a children's football tournament.
100 days to go. The main preparations are underway and we are moving towards the final stages. We can't wait for it.
Rostov-on-Don also held a football tournament, one exclusively for children born in 2010, the year Russia won the right to host the finals.
3, 2, 1,
In Russia's northern capital, St. Petersburg, a countdown clock was unveiled to mark the occasion. Whilst in Volgograd, 500 people took part in a 2018-metre race. In Kaliningrad, the furthest west host city, the celebrations included a freestyle football demonstration. In Nizhny Novgorod, fans were treated to a variety of activities on Minin and Poharsky Square, the location for the FIFA Fan Fest during this summer's tournament. In Saransk, 40 volunteers took part in a quest where they had to solve riddles associated with the upcoming tournament and their host city in a variety of locations, including the city's 2018 venue, the Mordovia Arena. And finally, in Moscow, hundreds of FIFA World Cup volunteers got their skates on to enjoy a live concert on the biggest ice rink in Russia. A timely reminder that kickoff is fast approaching.
There will be many people visiting our city, and we will be able to make new friends. The city will be nicely decorated, making it even more beautiful. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Along with the festivities on the ice, the event saw five-time Olympic champion Svetlana Romashina unveiled as Moscow's newest host city ambassador.
It's really exciting for me to be announced as a host city ambassador at the 100 Days event. I'm confident that Moscow will host the World Cup to the highest level, and we're looking forward to welcoming the fans.
Few players have lit up Russian football like Andrey Arshavin. Born and raised in St. Petersburg, the midfielder was part of an exciting generation of players that joined Zenit in the early 2000s.
The year 1984 was a very successful one at the Semen Sports School, which is today called the Zenit Academy. Players like Denisov, Bistrov, Vlasov, myself and a few others became the face of a St. Petersburg football scene that caused a great deal of excitement in the city. Even though Zenit didn't play in the top league when I was growing up, they remained the standard bearers for St. Petersburg football. For young players like us at the academy, it was always our dream to play for the first team.
Nicknamed Shava by the Zenit fans, Arshavin made over 270 appearances for the club over 2 spells between 2000 and 2015. During this time, he won a total of 7 trophies, including Zenit's first Russian Premier League title in 2007, which they won under the tutelage of Dutch coach Dick Advocaat.
Certainly, Dick was a main part of the team and played a major role in the club's history back then. He gave us a lot of freedom as a team. He dictated the style of football, which enabled us to win and be incredibly successful. Under him, all the players on the pitch knew their job. Defenders weren't worried about trying to score, and we in turn as forwards didn't try to do their job.
The following season, Arshavin produced a man-of-the-match winning performance in the final, as Zenit became the second Russian team to win the UEFA Cup.
To be honest, we weren't thinking about CSKA and their victory 3 years earlier. We simply knew that if a Russian team had won it once before, then we could do it too, because we had a strong team.
On the international stage, Arshavin made 75 appearances for Russia, scoring 17 goals between 2002 and 2012.
To represent your national team is something every player wants to do. When it came to the Russian team, I liked how Igor Titov and Valery Karpin played, but I wouldn't say they were my role models. They were simply 2 good players who played in the national team. All I ever wanted to do was be myself on the pitch.
Having also spent time with Arsenal and Kuban Krasnodar during his career, the 36-year-old now plays for Kazakhstan's FC Kairat, having joined the Almaty club in 2016.
Football is popular in Kazakhstan, and the pressure and scrutiny isn't as great as it was at Zenit and Arsenal. I don't feel under pressure to perform. Here I can simply enjoy my football and give 100% to the team. For Kazakhstan, Kairat is an unusual club because it's not state-owned. It's privately owned by one man whose ambition is to build the club up from its small beginnings to being an established European team. Naturally, our immediate goal for this season is to become champion. Kairat haven't won the league since 2004. In recent seasons, we've lacked that X factor. I accept this as my own responsibility. I have to play better and help the team secure more points in order to become champion.
Kazakhstan's Player of the Year in 2016 and a domestic cup winner with Kairat in 2017, the forward continues to light up the pitch in the twilight of his career. One of Russia's most talented players of the last 2 decades, the question is, what does the future hold for Andrey Arshavin once he hangs up his boots?
I've been asked this many times over the last 5 years. All I can say is I would like to stay in football.
The 27th and 28th of February saw the team workshop for the 2018 FIFA World Cup take place in Sochi. The 2-day event saw representatives from all 32 nations attend a variety of informative meetings covering different aspects of the upcoming tournament.
The team workshop is a real milestone in the road to the World Cup. It's the last time we have all 32 teams here together, and it's an opportunity for us to inform the teams of key organisational information that they need to prepare their respective teams for June.
Ultimately, of course, our goal here is to provide you with the information you need to prepare your teams.
We split the workshop between a plenary session where we share general information for the benefit of all teams, and then we organise breakout sessions where we go into more details on specific topics which are of particular interest.
For teams like Iran, it's key to have a detailed understanding of the technical aspects of what we will see at the World Cup. and how the tournament will be run.
World Cup, and welcome to Russia. Thank you.
I think FIFA and the local organising committee have done a great job of making life easier for us. A key part of this has been the team workshop. We're all prepared, we know where we need to go, what the team needs to do, and where we'll base ourselves for the duration of the tournament.
Along with attending the workshop, the team's visit to Russia gave them the opportunity to inspect their team bases for this summer's finals.
Historically, we've always looked for a training base that could be exclusively ours. One that could combine a certain level of comfort while providing the players with all the tools they need to train, rest, and socialize together as a group. We value these things a lot. They are important to us. I think the facility we found in Borsky, near Nizhny Novgorod, has all these things.
With less than 3 months remaining until kick-off, team and organisational preparations are well underway as Russia gets ready to host the 21st edition of the FIFA World Cup. Dynamo Moscow, one of Russian football's most storied clubs, having won 20 trophies over the course of their 95-year history. One of the most defining moments in Dynamo's past came in 1945, when they were the first team from the Soviet Union to tour the United Kingdom.
It was an historic moment. We were playing in England for the first time. We were playing against the founders of football, against players who, in our country, had an aura of invincibility. The team had a great responsibility. Not only were they the first representatives from our country to visit the United Kingdom, but they had to ensure they made a good impression and did not embarrass themselves.
Organised shortly after the end of the Second World War, Dynamo, as Soviet champions, were invited by the English Football Association to play a series of matches across Britain.
The only thing the Dynamo players knew beforehand was that they would be playing Chelsea, as they were part of the original invitation, and Arsenal, who were a team people in the Soviet Union knew about. The Cardiff City game came about unexpectedly. If I'm not mistaken, Cardiff had arranged another friendly of their own for Saturday, 17th of November, but happily changed it when the opportunity to face Dynamo Moscow presented itself. From there, the team travelled to Scotland, where the final match of the tour was against Glasgow Rangers.
I think the English, the inventors of the game, were completely confident that they would beat the Soviet team. This was because Dynamo were an unknown quantity.
Attracting sellouts across the country, including a crowd of 92,000 at Ibrox for the match against Rangers, Dynamo finished the tour with a record of 2 wins and 2 draws.
Dynamo performed to the highest standard. By the end, they'd scored 19 goals and conceded only 9. This was, of course, partly to do with their big victory against Cardiff City. Their performances across the whole tour were sensational. They made an impression on the whole of European football.
We thought that playing the British would be difficult, but this wasn't the case. Not only did we play well, but we exceeded everyone's expectations.
For the Soviet Union, the tour was an unprecedented success on the pitch. Midway through the tour, FIFA President Jules Rimet held a meeting with the Soviet delegation in Paris and officially invited them to join FIFA, an event that eventually saw the USSR make their World Cup debut in 1958.
After the tour, football's popularity in the Soviet Union grew rapidly. Young boys enrolled at academies. Stadiums were full. And everywhere they went, the Dynamo players were greeted with applause. Sadly, there is no one from the tour left alive today. But their memory lives on through all those who love football, like myself. Back then, the Dynamo players played in shirts with a big letter D on them. And for fans today, that letter still holds huge importance.
Early March saw the second part of the 7th operational planning tour. Led by FIFA's Chief Competitions and Events Officer Colin Smith, representatives of the game's governing body and the local organising committee for the 2018 FIFA World Cup visited the stadiums in 3 cities: Sochi, Rostov-on-Don and Kazan.
This is our 7th site inspection tour. We've divided this one into 3. Because we're really focusing on the fine-tuning and the details. So each tour we focus on different elements. Obviously the stadiums progress in their readiness to host matches. So the early tours are more about the construction, working from maps and plans. And then as we develop towards the World Cup, the focus is very much on fine-tuning, temporary overlay, and much less on obviously the construction elements which are then completed.
One of the tour stops was at Sochi's impressive Fisht Stadium. The southernmost venue for the 2018 FIFA World Cup, it was one of the 4 host stadia at last year's FIFA Confederations Cup and will host 6 games at this summer's tournament.
We're proud to be one of the host cities. We recognise the significance of this. We will not disappoint people's expectations. We, the regional administration, the local organising committee, FIFA and the stadium administrators are all working together as one unit. We're united in all the work going on here. We all want the same result. We want to ensure the games are played in the best stadiums in Russia.
The welcome and the hospitality has in Sochi been as warm as always. Our location's fantastic. We're sandwiched between the sea and the mountains. Organisationally, things are progressing very well, and we're really focusing on the changes, the upgrade of facilities or the expansion of facilities which are needed for a FIFA World Cup in comparison to a FIFA Confederations Cup.
The FIFA World Cup kicks off on the 14th of June, and while momentum gathers pace across the country, the hope is the tournament's impacts will be felt long after the final whistle.
Football is very popular in the Krasnodar region. There are a great deal of children playing it here. We have both male and female teams. We're excited to host the World Cup, and we're looking forward to welcoming both international and Russian teams. We are confident that the tournament will see football here continue to grow in popularity.
Everyone is remembered for their best moments. My job was to score goals. I had a dream before the match that I'd score a lot of them.
In 1994, the USA hosted the FIFA World Cup for the first time. A colourful and groundbreaking extravaganza, the tournament set the record for the highest average attendance, saw a number of nations make their debut, and in Russian international Oleg Salenko, it saw a player set a unique record in his country's final group stage match.
Everything looked easy, but Cameroon were a strong team. We knew we had to win because we still had a chance to qualify. We had to perform at our very best. We had to score as many goals as possible, and only then did we have a chance.
Salenko scores a first half hat-trick.
After Roger Miller scored to make it 3-1, we knew we had to keep going, score more goals and keep working hard. This was our team spirit, and we played well together. If we played Cameroon in our first game, I think the tournament would have been easier for us later on.
In front of a crowd of 75,000 at the Stanford Arena in California, Salenko scored 5 goals, the highest total by a player in a single World Cup finals game.
Salenko has scored 5. Start rewriting the record books.
It's difficult to say which goal's my favourite, because the first one was the most needed. It was vital. Only with the last goal, when I received the pass, did I know I would definitely score by shooting it across the goalkeeper. This is what happens when you're playing confidently. Everything works out. Nowadays, teams try to score 2 or 3 goals and then defend. Such a moment may only be possible in the group stage of a tournament. When a match is more a knockout situation, teams start to play cautiously.
Although Russia didn't qualify for the knockout stages, Salenko finished as the joint top scorer at the 1994 tournament, earning him the coveted Golden Boot. To date, the now 48-year-old is the only player to have won the award playing for a team that was eliminated during the group stages.
When Stoichkov and I were awarded the Golden Boot, he said, "Thank you for not scoring more." And I said to him, "Say thank you, I only played that number of games." At the time, I didn't grasp the importance of such moments. It's only later, after I retired, that it became a great memory. No matter how many records I had, this one is considered the most important.
Injury and changes in personnel prevented Salenko from building on his record-breaking performance. In fact, the 6 goals he scored in total at the '94 tournament would be the only goals he would score on the international stage.
Oleg Salenko, 5 goals in a World Cup game.
Understandably, I'm remembered for this achievement. In life, people only remember the biggest and brightest moments. I can't deny it was something very special. It was a memorable moment. And one that fans are reminded of every 4 years.
Людям напоминают все.